Okay, it tells me you're live, so here we are. My name is Toni Weel, and I'm here with Sarah from Virtuous Unicorns, and this is episode 7 already. Wow. We spent a few hours talking.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay.
Time flies, huh?
It definitely does. It definitely does. I hope I did everything correct this time. I feel still learning. Sometimes it's like, okay, I have to retain that information for at least a week so I can do it next week again.
Exactly. Well, maybe if we can get a couple of people to give us a thumbs up or whatnot, that way maybe they'll know that it is, or we sound well. It says there's 3 people in now. It did say 7 just a second ago, so maybe it's just YouTube. I don't know.
Okay, well, I see Lex is here, Tracy is here.
Yep.
So we are going. The people who sent me the questions I don't see yet, but they can listen to it in later. There is actually a question, and that comes up frequently, and it is very important. It is about what do you use on your body, like shampoo, conditioners, laundry, body soap, body lotion, household cleaning products. But the question, or her question was actually she started with, what do you do with the occasional pimple? And I'm like, you only get the occasional pimple if you ate something that you shouldn't have. So be aware that it's always related to, are your kidneys filtering well? Is your lymph moving? And what food are you eating? Because I know I do get pimples, even at my age. I think that is not an age thing, really, not limited by a certain age to get a pimple. But I can see that pimples go away. That it may take some time, but I can see where you have a moment that you are, well, I don't want to go out with a pimple on my face. So I do get products from a company that is called Healing Spirits Herb Farm. And farm is F-A-R-M, not the other farm. We don't do anything but the P-H-A-R-M. So it is healingspiritsherbfarm.com. This is where I get my facial lotions that I use once in a while from, and they have a lot of products that I do trust. So they actually, and it was the first thing I saw when I got on their website this morning, was acne mist. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. It has witch hazel in it, which kind of dries it out. It has eucalyptus essential oil in it, tea tree oil, and juniper and patchouli. And you just put it on. It's not even expensive, and you only would use it occasionally, as long as you know that it really is only that it is related to the food that you eat. So the next time that you want to prevent getting acne, just take a look at what you've been eating, like maybe the day before that. They usually come up quite quick. It's really interesting to see how that works. Now, as for shampoo and conditioner, I think any conditioner, there are no good conditioners. That should go out the door. It's like when you are on a good diet and a healing diet, I would say, then it is, you don't need a conditioner. Your hair will get beautiful. Actually, you don't even need shampoo. You just rinse your hair. But we're not all, already healthy, and we need some help. And I've been going for, I think, about a year without using any shampoos, and I never liked conditioners. So, and my hair got beautiful. It started to curl again. So actually, the condition was getting a lot better. But yeah, I have to admit, I do use shampoo once in a while. The one that I use is Purador, Purador, professional grade shampoo. Now, I always tell people, if you can't eat it, don't put it on your body. Not for washing hair, not for anything. I haven't tried to eat this, I'm honest with this. This was something that I saw, well, okay, the ingredients are not that bad. And believe me, I have used the weirdest thing. I've used clay to wash my hair. This is many, many, many years ago. And they had this special stuff and so you're sitting pretty much in a dirt bath, because I like baths and not showers. And it was and it's not unhealthy. The clay is actually good. It cleans it out. It's okay. It's not what I wanted to do all the time, but it's one of the things that I tried. When you are on an all fruit diet, you will find you don't need any of that stuff. And it's the same with body soap, body lotions. The ones that I like, and you can actually make it yourself, the recipe you can easily find online, is from Rosemary Gladstar. And that comes from the same company, Healing Spirits Herb Farm. They sell it. I had really bad psoriasis. When I'm on all fruit, I'm pretty good. I have some spots here and there. And I like to use their unscented facial lotion. And I just use that wherever I have a spot, and it keeps it soft for days at a time. So it's not a daily thing that you need to use that. So again, that's healingspiritsherbfarm.com. Check that out. That is, I trust them. I trust their products, but you still always have to look at all the ingredients. And if you would put out the Rosemary Gladstar facial lotion recipe, then you find the recipe easy online. And for the ones who are really interested in making their own lotions and soaps, she has a whole book with all these recipes for cleaning and everything. I have the book in a PDF format, so let me know if you want it, and I'll email it to you.
Wonderful. Toni, what do you think about coconut oil for your skin?
Yeah, I don't like to put oils on my skin, and I've used it. I was just cleaning out my pantry, and I was like, oh my gosh, I still have these 2 1 gallon jars with coconut oil in the back. I don't even know what to do with it. That is from when I was still cooking with it, and I put it on my skin. I think it's kind of sticky for too long for me. It's like you have to wait before you can get dressed. And it's like, should you put oils on your skin? No. Does it clog the pores? Yeah, whatever you put on your skin gets in your body. I mean, it is your third kidney, so junk comes out when it needs to come out, and your kidneys are not filtering. But when you put stuff that shouldn't be put in your body, you put it on your skin, it still gets in. So I would say no. If you have an occasional, sore spot, or you want to put on your lips or something, it's like, yeah, well, I cannot say too much about that. I don't know. I don't do it. I don't use it anymore.
Yeah, I know. I mean, especially where we live in the north, it's very dry, very. And so like my face, especially in my T-zone areas, will get extremely dry. And of course, working outside or working in the barn, it's very dry. And I know that there is definitely another reason behind it, not just the cold and I have dry skin. I'm sure it has something to do with my body detoxing during the cold and whatnot too. But yeah, it feels like my face is like cracking when I come inside sometimes after being out in the cold.
Now, I remember that Dr. Morse once addressed that, and it had also to do with people that have cracked heels in the wintertime.
I do not have cracked heels.
Yeah,
but
maybe
just
I wonder if that is
maybe
it was
windburn.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was related to. I would have to look that up. And of course, we can, if I don't know something or I can't answer it, please do go to rawfix.com and just type in dry skin and you'll hear Dr. Morse telling you exactly what it is.
Perfect. That's wonderful.
Yeah, that is always the best way. If you have of course you can email me and then I have to look it up because I don't know everything.
I'll try looking that up on my own.
I'm trying.
Absolutely. The other myth that I wanted to keep on the skin real quick, and then I want to move over to the hair, but a big thing that is going around on social media right now I'm seeing is people are doing what's called sludging or slugging. I don't remember exactly, but they're completely covering their face every single night or up to 3 times a week in Vaseline.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I was cringed. I mean, I understand what they're trying to accomplish, but with petroleum base.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, I got God, when did I had the first time the psoriasis? That was actually 17 when I moved to this house where I live now. That is when it started to appear. And I got it so bad that I had like 7, 8 of my body covered. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And of course, not on the diet I'm on now, and I didn't even think it was that bad, but I had a lot of stuff that needed to come out of my body apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So and it was after these heavy vaccinations like polio, MMR, and tetanus for immigration. But I of course I was looking everywhere where I could put something on and how to deal with it, and I found this stuff, and you could buy it at any Walmart, the grocery store here even have it in big jars in petroleum jelly in it, and to make it and of course the glycerin. And to make it smell nice, there was some eucalyptus in it, so it didn't smell so horrible. And it actually worked. But what it does, it makes the skin really, really thin.
Oh.
And I think I used about 4 jars before I started to wise up, and it was like, this is not me, I'm never using anything chemical, this is. So I started to dig in deeper, but actually the only time that the psoriasis goes away is 100% fruit. That's just it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very, very true. And I know a lot of people, it flares up for them in the winter time.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, well, I don't know if that is the case. Yeah, because you're detoxing more when it is cold.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really notice it that much here in Florida, but maybe when you're in a colder area, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just see that Tracy asked me to put a copy on the Freak Sense website. Yeah, I can put a link there.
Yes.
And then I will put it, Tracy, I will put it, of course, under health and then under resources.
That'd be great.
And otherwise, if somebody wants it, you have to send me an email.
Mm-hmm. I believe you have another comment that might be in Dutch.
Ja, from Lex. Groetjes,
awesome.
groeten uit Nederland. Nou, groeten terug en een knuffel, Lex.
That's awesome. Well, my question about hair too was, I know I'm seeing about like no shampoo, no conditioner. What is your take on when people are using apple cider vinegar or vinegar on their hair?
Yeah, I haven't tried that. I would think it kind of dries it out. I don't know if it really cleans. My mother used to rinse her hair with beer. I don't know why that was any good, but she liked it.
I heard that too.
I don't know. I don't even like the apple cider vinegar on my hands. So let alone because I get really dry hands from it. Mm-hmm. Maybe when you have greasy hair, it makes a difference. But at any time, when you learn or see something about using apple cider vinegar, replace it with lemon.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that is good. And I talked to one of my clients. He has very curly and hair that always tangles, and she needs like, almost a bottle of conditioner a day to even get through her hair.
Oh, wow.
And when we started with changing the diet, she didn't need any of that stuff anymore. It was just, the hair got back to a natural state.
Yeah.
And with all these products and all these chemicals, you are messing up your body and you're messing up your hair.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know what? When did conditioner even get on the market? They make a product like the shampoo that completely dries out your hair, and then you have to add a conditioner to get it back in a more natural looking state. It makes no sense.
No, it does not. And
to me, it makes no sense. And that is the same thing as giving you, as in the pharmaceutical industry, they're giving you, chemicals, and then you have so many side effects that you need another chemical to offset the side effect. It's the same with shampoo and conditioners.
Yeah.
When I grew up, I think, how long do you have conditioners? 40 years, maybe?
I have never not known of a world without shampoo and conditioners. and I'm not like a spring chicken, but
but hey, I beat you with that, with my Forever 38.
That's right. I would say at least since the 50s, kind of like when everything started rolling out, like when the big companies, L'Oreal, Procter & Gamble, all those companies started coming online, or not online, but coming alive.
Well, the 60s and 70s, it wasn't there. Not in the Netherlands anyway. I don't remember. Maybe Lex knows about that.
Yeah. Tracy's asking about Dr. Bonner's.
No, I wouldn't. Yes and no. You really have to look at the ingredients and always ask yourself, would I put it in my mouth, and what happens then? I think actually, I'm not 100% sure, but maybe Dr. Morse in his herbal store, he doesn't sell that online, and he had a few products, and I wonder now if that was Dr. Bonner's.
Yeah.
And I do have something for cleaning, I think.
Mm-hmm. That's what we have it for. Well, I mean, it's an all-purpose. You just kind of dilute it.
Yeah, but I don't put it on my body. I may wash in it, and I have been looking at so many products, to use for washing clothes, and every time it's like, do we actually need that soap, or will just water do as well?
Yep. Or I know we discussed too soap nuts before.
Oh yeah, the soap. Yeah, absolutely. I do have those.
Yep.
They're kind of fun to use, and so when you look at it and you compare it to the prices, they are so cheap to use. You can reuse them for a while, and I have a big bag with it, and you just put a few in a small what is it, small bag, small cotton bag,
like a little satchel.
Yeah, exactly. And you can just use it a few times.
Yep, that's great.
And it's the same with those things that people add in the dryer.
Oh my God. Dryer sheets.
Yeah, they are so bad for your health.
They are. Even the, what are they called? The unscented ones too. Yeah. But, and again, it's just a waste of stuff too. But I know they have the wool dryer balls, but again, then that goes back to, we're using wool then. And how is it? I mean, is the sheep your pet that you just love? He just gives you some of the wool, or comes from some horrible industry?
Yeah, well, it probably comes from the horrible industry.
Exactly.
And I have, of course, years ago, I have used them, and now they're toys for the cats.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. And again, I know that the sheep does need to be sheared, but they only need to be sheared because the industry has bred them to where they will not quit growing. Mm-hmm. So that, it's a double-edged sword, really. If you don't shear them, can get really sick. They can fall over, they can die, but we really just need to change that whole industry to where maybe they can breed that out of them again and make them more to exactly how they're supposed to be.
Yeah, but wool has been around for long time, even before this industry.
Yes. And I was even thinking too, are sheep really, were they bred into creation, or are they really, I don't know that either.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
But yeah, that was all that I kind of have on skincare and hair care. I know that I did speak with Charlie. We're eventually going to do a beauty show where we kind of cover all that stuff. I just don't know when, especially with what's going on now. But yeah, it's definitely something the same as you're going to do with your food. It's just the straight and narrow. It's very simple and simplistic, and just use water, basically.
Yeah, it is. Water always works. It's a cleaner.
It is.
I hear Dr. Morse does say that too.
Mm-hmm.
Another question I had about, this question that we were just answering was from Katie, and about the soaps. Another question I have came from Ka, and she said, I just watched Dr. Morse's videos that shows the regrowth of the toe in the woman being healed from ALS. He put both of these people on fruit and herbs. Is it absolutely necessary to only do juice to regenerate my body, or will eating fruit as well as juicing do the trick? Could my body heal if I decided to only eat fruit and not do any juicing? Yeah, it depends on what state your health is in. Juicing just helps cleaning out the body a little bit more. Can you heal on all fruit? Absolutely. If you want to eat, we know that, like John Stearns, what was it, 6 or 7 months on eating mangoes only. And I'm pretty sure he ate them and not juiced them. And he went through a very deep detox, and he healed what he wanted to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, it absolutely works. Would I suggest to do mixed bowls with fruit? No, better not. If you transition from the fruit and the salads and then to fruit only and then to mono fruit, yeah. But the thing is, make sure you don't get dehydrated. When my goal, and it is different for everybody, it's my goal is always to get 2 to 3 liters or 2 to 3 quarts of fruit juices in. And with a liter of apple juice, that's about 5 pounds of apples. You don't eat that 5 pounds of apples in a day. You may eat 2 or 3 apples. So you have to, then go for the more juicier fruits like watermelon. This is the first year that I noticed that watermelons were even available throughout the winter. Not the organic ones, but still watermelons. Mm-hmm. Small ones, big ones, can't say they taste great. Actually, I don't even know where they're coming from. Maybe Mexico, where the season is probably longer. But you then want the more watery fruits. Now, there actually is a chart, and I do have it. When I make a protocol document, I always add it. What is the content of the water in the different fruits? So it's always good to know that. So yeah, you can absolutely heal on only fruit, as long as you make sure that you don't get dehydrated. And you may want to get to a point when you really want to heal, and you want to heal your GI, or you want to clean out your colon. Yeah, then I would suggest, when you are on it, on all fruit, add a few juice days, and do 1 day, do 3 days, and maybe do 1 day of just water and help cleaning out your gut. That would help. Can you add anything to that, Sarah?
No, absolutely. That is correct. I mean, the fruit is what gives our body the energy and to heal. And it also keeps everything kind of, I was going to say, like kind of lubed up within our body. But definitely want to keep that water, especially during detox, because you don't want constipation.
And I found that when I don't drink water, I get cramps in my legs.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me I am dehydrated. Now you would think that with the fruit, that actually hydrate the cells, water doesn't. But when we're still healing, we're still detoxing, we need the water to get the toxins out.
Absolutely. And you actually brought up a good point, which I don't want to say never, but I haven't really put two and two together. But when you are drinking a liter of apple juice, how many apples that really equals to. And if you really take us back to exactly where we are supposed to be and how we're supposed to be living, we wouldn't have juicers. And so how did we live way, way back then?
Yeah,
Before the juicer. So
of course,
we did eat fruit.
Yeah, you wouldn't eat or drink that much. But the thing is, we were not as toxic as we are today.
Absolutely, that
So
too.
there is a big difference with that. And when you are on 100% fruit, you find that you fill up with 2 apples.
Mm-hmm.
And or maybe 2 or 3 mangoes. That is a whole meal.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have enough. But we are still at a point that we need to get the toxins out, that we're really detoxing.
Right.
Yeah, do I need to eat no, five apples? No. I have to say that apple juice goes in really easy.
It does.
But that is the same. I sometimes use the watermelon. And because I like the watermelon juice. And the thing with watermelons is you always have sections in a watermelon that don't taste so good. And other sections that are delicious. So I figure if I put it all together and it's in one juice, then it all tastes okay.
And I do not like eating watermelon, but I love watermelon juice.
No. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Okay. So what other questions do we have?
Let's see. I know that we touched a little bit last week, but I still wanted to kind of dive into this again. It was because I hear it so much all the time, but it is the people drinking the apple cider vinegar and also the garlic, apple cider vinegar, and turmeric. Those are the things that I always hear people trying to recommend to other people. And so I wanted to try to touch on that.
Yeah, for what reason would that be?
For detox purposes, for cleaning out your system, for, I know people that have been on apple cider vinegar for a long time just because they said it will burn fat. It will, it just kind of heats up your system. They even put cayenne pepper in it. And then there was another reason, apple cider vinegar will cure indigestion.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. It's not healthy. It's fermented. And you know what the problem is? These people keep doing that day in, day out, year in, year out. And it's not that they live on it. It's just, something extra that they take, and nothing is healing, and they keep doing it. And the diet doesn't change. They still have the either a standard diet or whatever diet, or or vegetarian or vegan, and still have cooked food. And what always puzzles me, why don't people ask themselves, why do they have to keep using it? That doesn't make any sense. What did you heal then? In what way is it working?
Mm-hmm.
You put junk food in, and then you put something else in to balance off the junk food. It doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't.
But yeah, there are so many things on the market. You go into any health food store, and all the detox products, they scream at you. And open up any magazines, and they always have tips. And yeah, the apple cider vinegar is always one of them. And it's the same as with the celery juice that I am not a fan of. And at any time, if something causes you to either get cramps or bloating or whatever, it's not meant to be in your body. It's just that simple.
I say the same thing about onions and garlic too. Everybody's like, oh, I love onions and garlic, especially when you're pan frying them in a thing of oil. But the onions just really burned your eyes while you were cutting them. So that's your body's first reaction to, you probably shouldn't have this. And then number two, you're most likely not going to just eat garlic raw. Anyway, you have to cook it down or put it in something, because if not, most people can't handle it. And if you can handle it, that's not a good thing either, because then that probably means something else is really being blocked in your body.
Yeah, I use it, and I always say that I use it as a medicine. And I do have a medicine that is called heart drops. It is, I think it is, I forgot the name. Dr. Schultz has one, but there is another one too that I actually use, the Canadian herbalist, and it saved my life. And that was the hawthorn, 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 herb, cayenne, and garlic. And it helped me when I had a heart attack and I didn't want to go to the hospital. That was the second heart attack I had. So I did use it for a while and then, just stopped it. Now, for the first heart attack, when I did go to the hospital, my heart was damaged. So if I am on 100% fruits, and I'm not always, but if I am on 100% fruit, my heart has absolutely zero issues. You wouldn't even say that there would be any damage. As soon as I am on other foods, I can feel it. I can feel that there are problems. So we always go back to the fruit part. And but yeah, because I have a client who is on Coumadin, and Coumadin is a rat poison. He's been on there for 7 years. Has anything healed in his body? No, it's probably caused more damage even, which is sad. Wow. They with that first heart attack, they put me on Coumadin, and I was bleeding out of every pore in my body. It was that bad. And it was that a night nurse saw it, and it sees that, oh my God, we are killing you. Yeah. And then they sent me, so they had to keep me 2 days longer to get me off the Coumadin and on something else. And then they sent me home with a prescription for Coumadin that was twice the amount of what they gave me in the hospital. And it was like, if I had taken that, I would have bled to death. That is how bad it is. And it is very hard to regulate, because then you need more, then you need less. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe what they are doing. So this is where the heart drops come in, because they do exactly the same thing.
Yep. But again, though, you're using it as a medicine or as a herb, the way it's supposed to be used. It's not in all of your food or, added into everything anymore or sprinkled on.
But you know what? We like the spicy food. We like the cayenne and the garlic. Yeah. But once you realize what everything is, and that it is, meant to be as a temporarily medication, call it that, then you start looking at things differently. When you get on this raw food journey, it's all different. You start eating less, and you don't need all these things, because you can see that everything that's going on in your body is food related. And the taste, that is something that is important, because salt always comes up. Should you eat salt? I mean, there are people that absolutely recommend you have to have salt for the electrolytes. Well, salt is an inorganic material. It's not doing your body any good. Is celery salt okay? Well, yeah, maybe a little, but all the other salts that we are using, and salt is in everything. And it weakened our adrenals, and we only want more salt. And everybody seems to have weak adrenals. and everybody is using salt.
Mhm.
You cannot look at any recipe or label on packages of food that doesn't have salt in it. It's in everything. It's like we can't do without. Now, I
Mhm.
love salt. I never, was a person who liked sweet stuff. I like salty and spicy food. And I have used herbs instead, like using dulse. If I want something a little saltier, I even made like hot water and dulse. So you have this little salty taste. But the beauty is when you are on 100% fruit, you have no cravings for salt or spices anymore. It
Mm-mm.
goes away. It's so weird. It's like your hunger goes away and that goes away too. And if you're still craving it, there is still something in your diet that is, can be cooked, can have fat in it, or have maybe a little salt. And then, yeah, you want more.
Right. And I mean, table salt is absolutely horrible. I mean, isn't some of it even just has glass in it?
Yeah, I don't even consider that as,
Mm-mm.
as table
Nope.
salt.
I know.
It, it,
And
it helps if we want to get ice off your driveway.
yes, we've been using that. The other two, I was reading over here about the protein myth over on your blog on Freak Sense TV, and the neurotransmitters in meat are responsible for the loss of function of your adrenal glands. So people have way too much protein.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
protein in everything anymore.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, I mean, it's a wonder people have weak adrenals.
Yeah, it all plays a role. And I mean, the stress that the whole lifestyle that we have been living, all of us, we
Mhm.
all undergo a lot of stress. It's the relationship, previous trauma, work related. It's being in traffic. It's stress everywhere. If we could just be in nature and not have to worry about anything, and we know we have a roof over our head, we have warmth when we need it, and we have food when we need it, and my gosh, we wouldn't have any worries. But
Mhm.
this is not how society is, not yet anyway.
Yeah.
But
And,
it is like we will get there one day.
mhm.
uh,
And we've
yeah.
been programmed. And so we have to go through the unprogramming.
Yeah, and
Mm.
it's not easy, that whole brainwashing things and think that you need it. And we are on the internet, so you see this on Facebook and that on Facebook or Telegram or wherever you go, and YouTube, and this person says you need this, and it's like the only thing that we need is simplicity.
Absolutely.
And every time that people tell you what you need, turn around, because you don't. You
Hmm.
don't. It is just as simple as that. You do not. You don't need supplements. You don't need, added minerals. I mean, how did humanity live this long, to only in the last 50, 70 years be inundated with all the vitamins and the minerals that we supposedly need, and the probiotics. Now, I just read an article that they actually link probiotics to cancer. It's the weirdest thing come out, but it's good that those things come out, because that is another thing that we do not need. It's
Hmm.
like our bodies were made in perfection,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
and we try to add all kinds of stuff to it to improve it. We add stuff that we don't need, it like foreign substances to the body. How much sense does that make?
Right. I mean, if God wanted us to have all that or know all that, then he would have made sure that we had it from the start. I
Yeah.
mean, we were made by the master and we are sheer miracles when you really sit down and think about it.
Yeah, but right now we live in messed up bodies, and it's what Colleen always says: once you know better, you have to do better.
Yep.
Is it an easy journey? No, absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
It's probably the hardest thing. Unlearning is so much harder than learning new things,
Yes, it is.
because that all these things are so ingrained in our system, and it pops up constantly, and it's
Yep.
yeah, you have to go to the complete simplicity of yeah, of an all raw and mostly fruit way of living. And sometimes can you add nuts? Is I don't anymore because they're high in fat and high in proteins, and my body doesn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But is it all raw? Well, I have a nut tree, and this thing was maybe not even a foot high when I came in this house 17 years ago. Now it's finally a huge tree. And last year, for the first time, it had nuts, and they were they were everywhere on the ground. Only to find out that this was a black walnut, and they are used for using the wood and not the nuts. And I tried to open one of these nuts. Impossible. They were supposed to be ripe because they fell off the tree. I could not even open them.
Oh my.
So it needs all special skills to even get to the nuts. And then you wonder, are we really supposed to eat these things?
Exactly. You need tools or something just to even get in them.
Yeah.
So maybe they're not meant for us. The other thing too is when we were talking before about when you know better, you do better. Everybody, and I do feel really bad because I am seeing a bunch of people now moving into the vegan movement, and they are following like a medical medium or Dr. Sebi, but it is still all on the same path because I looked into the medical medium and, some of the parts of there, yep, I agree with, but other parts, obviously, I moved on from that. So they are, and I always look at them as like stepping stones to get further along on our journey to the truth. So I do look at that stuff and I do see, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's all the people can do right now when they're moving away from their meat, dairy, and eggs. And so now they're moving on to their cooked food. So it is still just a process. And anytime I can comment, I do try to comment to put the more gnosis of the truth out there. But a lot of times some people just can't absorb that at that time of their journey, but hopefully they are still just making those steps along the way.
I have mentioned it before. I followed medical medium for a year and a half, for 18 months. And at the end of those 18 months, I was at the worst, bedridden, wheelchair, and etc. And I thought, I'm not going to make it till the end of the year. And that was in October. And soon after I found Dr. Morse, but what I realized, I did not know why I wasn't getting any better. And so for me, it was learning that the cooked food was not helping. A ton of supplements was, actually bad for us instead of helping. He has, let's say 50% of great information and 50% that keeps us sick. So, so you can always keep going.
Exactly.
And I feel that it is our job, your, mine, Dr. Morse's job, to empower people with the knowledge, so we're not needed anymore. And people who learn from us can then teach others in how it works. And I think that is the beauty. And there are a lot of people that I talk to who want to take Dr. Morse's classes to get certified, to get really in depth into everything. And I absolutely welcome that, because with the whole allopathic or medical industry, you can call it medical, including the naturopaths, it's all crumbling. And for me, it cannot go fast enough. Of course, they need it. They're needed for a lot of things, but not for most of the things. If I had a broken leg, so I absolutely welcome a doctor to fix that. I am not going, even with a heart attack, I'm not going back. I'm not going into the hospital. We now know in the last 2 years, we have seen what can happen and the power that they have over us, which is absolutely crazy. And that will change. And we will come to a point where where people realize that, that we have to be more self-sufficient. We need to learn how our bodies work, how our bodies respond to things, and not freak out when we have like an ear infection. I have 12 years of ear infections from 6 months old until almost 13 years old. And only last year I realized why it stopped when I was at that age. I never knew that. That was when they could not force me to drink any milk or eat yogurt anymore.
Yeah.
12, 13 years old, puberty, getting rebellious. It's like, no, I'm not going to drink it anymore. I never had I had one time I did have an ear infection when I was in my early 20s. And maybe because I had too much, whipped cream I did like.
Yeah.
Whipped cream on coffee. They have not been part of my diet now for a long, long, long time. So, but anyway, so you see that you can always relate it back to what you put in your body. And we just have to keep it simple. And there's another thing that I want to mention. When you have salad bars, you go into restaurants and have a salad bar, and there's so many different things that you can all load up, and we all do it. We load the plate up with all kinds of stuff. Your body doesn't even know how to digest it. The digestive juices are for one of the foods, not for 8, 10, 12 different ones. But we don't know that. I know that when I smell a ripe whatever, any fruit, pineapple smell great.
Yeah. Oranges and strawberries. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, strawberries. Then you get the saliva in your mouth already. Those are your digestive juices.
Mine's
so
already going right now.
Yeah, your body is ready for that. Does the same thing happen when I make a smoothie with 3, 4 different fruits and I smell it? Nope, doesn't happen.
It does not. That's true.
Isn't that amazing? And this is the things that we need to know.
Yeah. I almost envision it like a pyramid where you have like the medical industries down toward the bottom. Then you get more into more specialized people. Then you get into naturopathy. And then finally at the top is the, like the truth, like Dr. Morse and you and all the people that are leading that way. So you're coming to the top of the pyramid or the point of the arrow. Again, the straight and the narrow with the simplicity, as you said earlier, of it all, the truth. And it's just very simple.
The truth is always simple.
It is. I used to cherry pick from everything from medical medium, Dr. Sebi, to even naturopath doctors, to things like that. I would only cherry pick. And it wasn't until I heard Dr. Morse that I was like, I didn't feel I ever had to cherry pick any of his information that he was providing.
Yep.
So it just feels pure and true.
It's pretty amazing because I've been with him now for quite a few years, and anything else, and it was like Dr. X, Dr. Berg, Dr. Bergman. You mentioned one earlier, and there have been so many. The longest that I did before Dr. Morse was actually medical medium, and I was I had all the books and I was giving away the books, but it wasn't working. And oh my God, the recipes are absolutely delicious. But when you come to, he does the 3 days juice fast, or the detox, and then you have 3, 6, 9 days of detoxing, and it's like, this is not how it works. This is not what is healing. It's like you eliminate foods from your diet, and not just for 30 days. You have to realize you do this for a longer time.
And most of them forever.
Yeah, it is a lifestyle. It's a raw lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And can you never eat cooked? Sure, if your body will like it, probably not. But then the next day you start over again. It's like, I like a soup once in a while. And I just, you just get back to what you were doing before. Now, I
Mhm.
do need to address one question that
Yep.
I saw somewhere that was about hair.
Yep. From Tracy.
Yeah, it was, and now I don't see it anymore.
She says, losing lots of hair since
Oh,
I've
yeah.
gone off the animal-based thyroid herbal protocols from my naturopath. Any recommendations?
Um, it is, I don't know who said that, and it could be Charlie, it could have been Dr. Morse, and he said, out with the old, in with the new.
Mhm.
And the same happened to me. I lost more than half of my hair. I'm not happy about that. I shortened it one, and it's like, I'm going through a detox. This is what my body needs to do. And yeah, that shampoo that I mentioned earlier that says it is for when you have hair loss. Well, I still have the hair loss, but I don't have bald spots, so I still have hair. It's part of the detox. I know I have stagnated lymph. So you get again to get your kidneys to filter, get the mucus out of your body, get your lymph moving, do the dry brushing. I mean, we have the herbal formulas that help you with your lymph. You can do an lymph massage, but make sure that or that you do it with a masseuse who knows what they're doing. And that is just the basic things that needs to be done. And I hear from everybody who has been going through the detox, and it takes a while, a year, 2 years, 3 years. They have better and more beautiful and thicker hair than they had before. And I
Mhm.
thought that was amazing.
Oh yeah.
But does it take time? Yeah, it's not happening in a few months, and maybe not even in 1 or 2 years. And I'm like, it doesn't really matter. It at first I was like, oh my gosh, should I wear a hat or a wig? This is crazy. I don't like it. And I'm like, no, I don't care. This is
Yep.
just part of my healing, and it needs to be done. The old stuff comes out, new stuff comes in. And then, what the weird thing is, I still barely have gray hair. A little on the side, but I had that for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
It is, and I even
Wonderful.
hear from people that their hair color comes back. Now, I know when people hear me say that and they look at Dr. Morse with his white hair, it's like, why didn't he have his colored hair back? Dr. Morse will be the first one to say that he loves to be on 100% fruit, but he is not always. So there you go.
Yep. I actually did hear him, and I wrote that note down too. He said that if he took, I forget which herbal supplement it was, but he said my hair would just go right back. But like, I guess he's just not doing it or taking that supplement. But I wrote it down because,
You mean one of his own herbal formulas?
yes.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
have
it
to
is,
dig that out.
a lot of things it's probably with the lymph system. And yeah, it will come back. But it's like we shouldn't worry so much about these things. It is like it is what it is. You are doing, people that are on this path, you're doing an amazing job. Because I know it's not easy, and I absolutely applaud everybody getting on this path and following it and understanding, why they are doing it, and then stop worrying. If you will not lose all of your hair, that's not that bad. But yeah, although when I look at my husband, he was getting bald many years ago already, and he had little what do you call that? A little soft, very thin hair coming back
Baby
in
hair.
areas. What do you call
Yeah,
it?
like baby hair.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yep. Well, I had so I would dye my hair. I wanted to be, because I was blonde when I was young, very blonde. And then after puberty, my hair went dark. And I wanted, more blonde in my hair. This was years ago now. And I was sitting there and she said, well, it'll be a process. And I was like, okay, because I don't want to ever damage my hair anyway. So let's just go really slow. So apparently she was using the lowest of everything there possibly could be and everything. And I'm sitting there and it was just, it burned. It burned so bad. I about jumped out of the chair myself and washed my own hair.
Yep.
Keep in mind, I was in a very professional place, but then of course my hair did fall, like a giant part of it fell off the back of my head. I was devastated and whatnot. So, and then from there on, I was afraid to use anything. I was afraid to do anything to my hair at that point. So I just started being very gentle with it, taking the best care I can with it, brushing it lightly, massaging my scalp, using cold water. And it's so weird now that it's like I can feel new hair all over my scalp. So like my scalp is, I don't know, it's like my hair stands up at my scalp now. It's just becoming so thick around my scalp, the back of my head, and everything. So it sucked at the time, but now it's really cool to actually like run my hand through my hair now and just feel
Yeah,
how alive
see
it
that
feels.
that is promising.
Yes, exactly. Because I have super thick hair, and then all of a sudden after that, then more hair would fall out, and more and more and more. And it was very scary at first, because of how thin my hair was, but now how thick it's becoming again.
Yeah,
It's
it's
definitely a process.
and the color changes got somewhere amazing. Like my
Mhm.
husband doesn't have a gray hair on his head, but his beard is gray. And with my, I was a, yeah, I was a redhead, and I hated my red hair. And that was in a time that everybody started to dye their head with henna, and because they wanted to have red hair. So I was
Mhm.
kind of okay, it's not that bad. Because, but I never colored it, and I had been thinking, oh my gosh, I would like to have that color back that I used to have. My hair is much darker, but I think it will come back too.
Yeah.
It's like, don't worry about it. We worry way too much about
Yes,
everything.
we do.
Yeah.
That's probably another program they have given us is to worry.
Yeah, like it is a bad thing, it is like we have to look a certain way and be a certain way. In Holland, that was really, or Holland, the Netherlands, that was really bad. So when I came to the United States, I felt kind of liberated. I was in the Netherlands. I was considered overweight. I come to the US, and I was considered a bit normal.
Oh no.
And my husband has in the Netherlands is considered normal, and here they say, "Oh my gosh, you are so skinny." So yeah, that is just whatever perception there is, and but yeah, we do worry a lot about how we look and what we need to wear, and certain colors are out if you are at a certain age, and it's all crazy.
It is. And just be happy, do it, be you for the most part, and keep it simple and live a simple life and eat your fruit, meditate, belly breathe, and enjoy life because there is a plan that God has in place for all of us. And we just need to really trust Him and trust that that plan is in place.
Yeah, and put your feet in the soil sometimes and hug a
Oh,
tree.
yes.
As
Hug
crazy
tree.
as it sounds, and they try to ridicule that too, because I was, until now, maybe, well, when I got diabetes about 20 years ago, that is when I got more careful. I was always walking bare feet,
Mm-hmm.
always.
Yep.
It was like shoes. Ugh, hate those things.
And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go out and just say yes, that the bark on the trees does have B12 on it because
Yeah,
B12 or
I heard
vitamin
that.
B, whatever,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
does come from the soil. So it does have it. So that is probably why we're supposed to hug trees. So at minimal, at least put your palms on the tree if you're not too keen on out there hugging them. But it'll get
Well,
there.
you can do a whole show about trees only, because those are amazing things.
Can
Their
you see the
life.
auras on trees?
Yeah, and but I'm sorry.
Can you see the tree auras?
No,
No, it's on like especially like a really clear blue day, if you can go out and just see like a bunch of trees together.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
look along the top of them, you can see kind of like it's like a clear whitish kind of
Okay.
aura. And I've always been able to see them ever since I was a kid. So I always thought everybody could, but
Yeah.
apparently not. But yeah, you can just kind of see. And of course, the more trees there are, then the more you can see it and whatnot. But yes, trees are very, very special.
And they are. And I had read about trees, how they help each other and warn each other for danger and protect each other. And
Mhm.
then I was driving somewhere here in Florida, Sarasota, and I see this parking lot with one tree on it, and it looked so pathetic.
Oh,
And that is, the trees need each other. It doesn't even have to be the same species.
they just need each other.
It's really, really amazing. Yeah, people should dig into that. That is, it's beautiful.
That would be, I would love to learn more about that too. And if and when my mom finally comes back on the show too, you can ask her. But if I see trees down, it really hurts me. And
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I fight so much with people when they cut trees down.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, no, 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 no. Like and if they are going to take a tree down, I have to leave. Like it is emotionally hard for me
Yeah.
when people are
Yeah.
cutting trees down.
Yeah, I am the same way. I had to when I living in Holland go to that lived out in the country, and they had a few really beautiful trees, and all of a sudden they were cut down. I could not go through along that same route, to get to home. I had to
Mm-mm.
take another route. I just couldn't
Mhm.
see it. I
Yep.
didn't want to see it. And every time I was thinking about it, was I was in tears. And that is, people would say, "Are you nuts? Are you crazy?" But it shows you that we have a connection, a natural connection with nature,
Yes, we do. We
and
should
we forget
definitely just
about
do a
that. It
whole
is
show
there.
on that too.
Yeah, there's all this noise coming at us from media, the TV, the lights, the sounds, and not natural sounds. There's so much noise that we and that those are not the noise that we enjoy, because can you enjoy a blaring TV? I can't.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Nope, I
beautiful
can't either.
music, of course I can. But when I am out in nature, like it's really early in the morning, nobody's up, and I hear the birds waking up, and
Mhm.
oh my God, that makes me so happy.
Me
But
too.
these are all the things that we need to be healthy. It's we talk about food a lot, but don't forget all these things.
Absolutely. I also read something real quick too, that if you're really struggling with something, or there's just something like turmoil or whatever going on, they did say to go out amongst trees, especially kind of older trees, because they have the wisdom to help us. You just
Oh,
have to
wow.
be able to listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, yeah. I see we've reached our hour this quick already.
Oh, yeah. We know we can talk for hours.
Absolutely.
I
We've,
think one day I would like to do a live with everybody, that everybody can chime in. And maybe we need to do that on Telegram. Think about this.
that would be great. You mean like people call in and talk to?
Yeah, that you just do a live Telegram show and everybody can chime in.
It'd be oh, okay. Yep. I've seen those before. That's
Yeah.
right.
we
That'd be
everybody
wonderful.
yeah, everybody has so much to share in so many experiences, and we can learn from that too.
Oh,
I would love
yes.
that.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, we all need to be our own doctors, or maybe I should say healers. We need to be our own dentists, and we need to be our own teachers and our teachers of our children. And so we have like our individual home ones, and that's why it's so important everyone learn this path.
Yeah, it is, and it's beautiful what we can share. It took us long enough to get here.
Yes.
I wish I was here 50 years ago. I do have to say 50 years ago, I was all in herbs and in natural things, and I did not want to have any electric appliances in my house. And I got away from it, 20s, 30s, 40s. I got away from it. And now I'm back. Well, I still like my electric appliances. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not going to
Well,
get those out.
when you were reincarnated, you must not have came back as a a baby, you came back with some knowledge because babies
Yeah,
forget.
yeah, that is because those are the people that always say, "Well, I never feel anywhere at home. I'm always the observer, and I don't fit in." That was me.
Yep, me too. Absolutely. Well, Toni, it was
But
such a joy.
life is beautiful, Sarah, and
It is.
everybody who is listening and on the live show and maybe listening on a replays, thank you.
Mhm.
A love for you being here. If you have any questions, please let me know. Healthywithfruits at gmail.com. It's in the show notes. The mucusless diet PDF is in the show notes. And you have questions, you know how to find me, you know how to find Sarah, and we will do this again next week.
Absolutely beautiful show.
So
I
thank you,
enjoyed it
Sarah,
all.
and always happy to have you here.
Happy to be here.
I enjoy it. We love you.
Love you all. Thank you all. Bye bye.
Bye.